everybody.
Hello.
My name is Val.
My name is Mandy.
And this is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
We're here with a very special guest.
Hi guys, I'm Katelynn.
And what are we doing today?
We are navigating sexuality together.
Woohoo, very exciting. Okay, Katelynn, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am 19 years old. I'm gonna be 20 in December, so shout out to all my Sagittarius out there.
Shout out.
Shout out. And I'm in school. I'm majoring in business administration with a minor in cybersecurity.
Ooh,
Gonna dominate the
cool.
world.
I
yes.
love that. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so our usual way to start off the episode is we do a little bit of an icebreaker. So you can grab the little bucket right there, or grab a little note and see what your question is.
What does it
Oh, the sound is so crisp on that.
know? What's something you've never learned to do but want to? Cook.
You don't cook at all?
No,
No, I actually can't cook at all. Like, that is my red
not
flag,
even
guys.
like pasta.
Well, I'm talking eggs.
You can't make eggs like scrambled eggs.
I can make scrambled eggs. I can cook
Okay.
eggs. And
That's an essential.
I'm gonna tell you, one time I made rice. I attempted to make rice and I burned it, and my chicken in the pan. Like,
So how do you go about eating?
Yeah, how do you survive in this world?
personal chef. Like, shout out to my sister. Shout out to my mom.
Yes.
I
Okay,
don't
but
know.
you're moving up here next year, so
True.
Is Hayden gonna be cooking up for you?
He's my husband. Actually, he will be cooking for me, and I'll do
Hayden's
the
going to be
cooking.
Katelyn's future roommate now.
Yes.
Husband as well. Husband as well. And yeah, can't cook. That's something I wish I could do.
So when you move to Orlando next year, do you think that's something you're going to try and learn, or?
Yes. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to cook on my own at home, but it's not like, full on like busting out recipes and like whipping it up and being creative with
you need to know the
it.
basics. You need to know the
Yeah.
basics.
I need to learn.
TikTok is a great
I've actually
resource.
seen so many good like videos about like making stuff, but I just send them to my sister. I'm like, you need to make this.
Is she good?
No, she
How
cooks.
old is your sister?
She's 16.
She's 16, but she whips it
Wow,
up.
that's embarrassing for you. She's 16 and she.
Okay, but
Wow.
the thing is, she was very, very curious to like learn how to cook since she was like 10 years old. Like, she was asking my mom watching. I'm sitting here like just enjoying the view, watching TV,
Like,
and
cooking
just
something.
waiting for it to be done. Like, tap my shoulder when it's done so I can get to the table. Like, that, it's so bad. That is my red flag for sure. It's
Wow.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there was a point in my life that I really wanted to be a chef. So I have always kind of like enjoyed cooking. I mean, last year, living like all together, I was the cook. Like
She made everything out of everything. Like she made some
like
tuna, chili, cheese,
tuna sandwiches.
dip. I don't know what it was, but we had no food, so she came up with something.
Listen, I'm a big advocate for leftovers. Like, there is no waste in this household because
That's the Brazilian in you, for real.
I can whip up something. I mean, it might not be like the prettiest
pretty
looking, but it's not bad, right?
Yeah,
Like, Val has
she
tried
honestly
it.
taught me how to cook, invest in a crock pot and an air fryer. Great.
Air fryers are so good.
That's what
I cooked
helped me.
chicken in an air fryer before, like, actually.
You didn't burn it that time, right?
No, not that time. I tried to use a skillet that one time.
It's not easy cooking in a skillet. I'll be
No,
honest.
it isn't. And I burned it. It was so bad. The house was smelling really bad. I had to like air out the windows. It was a
Well, when you
traumatic
live
experience.
here, I can teach you how to cook next year because it's actually
Well, thank
something.
God.
I actually thought about, you know how TikTok does those like cooking pages? I thought about doing one for college kids, like college recipes.
Maybe you can make a segment.
Oh, maybe. I thought about it because I like kind of enjoy it. Now I don't have as much time doing it, but last year I had so much time. And,
Comment down below if you'd like to see some cooking videos of Mandy.
Cooking with
Everybody.
Mandy.
Cooking with
Because,
Mandy.
okay, do you like tomato soup and grilled cheese?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
I make homemade tomato soup, like fresh sauce and everything, and that is
Image inserted.
that is something I can whip up that is super easy, super good, and I believe that you can do it too, Katelynn.
Wow.
Fingers crossed. I hope so. No, but if it comes to worst, Hayden, my husband,
He will
he'll lock
provide.
down. I will clean the house top to bottom, like vacuum
That's
mop.
actually a good balance. You have someone to cook and then you have
Right.
someone to clean.
I plan to carry that on in the future when I get married. I'll do the laundry. I'll get the groceries even.
Everything but.
I'll wash the dishes.
Everything but the
exactly.
cooking.
Everything but cooking.
What about you, Mandy?
What is something that I would love to learn? It has always been a dream of mine to learn how to surf. Or like skateboard, something related to like obviously balancing. Sorry, I stole your thing. Huh?
You don't skateboard?
No, I don't even know how to. I've
You
tried.
look like a skater girl. Come on.
You actually do, yeah.
Thanks.
Where are the
Guys,
bands at?
stop.
Where are the bands?
No, I know I wanted to be one of those mysterious skater girls with the headphones and you ride, but I can't. I like have the worst balance ever. It took me forever to learn how to ride a bike. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was like 8 years old.
Whoa. Okay, that's not too bad. I've seen people learn how to ride a bike at like 12 years old, and I think that's
But
crazy.
8 is still pretty. I mean, how old were you guys?
5.
6.
All right, see? So 8 seems a lot older. But yeah, I just had such a big problem. Like, I'm such a scaredy cat. I think I'm just always going to get hurt. So skateboarding, I feel like I'm going to get hurt. But once you get past that fear, it'll be fun. But same thing with surfing. Like, it just, people look so cool doing it. And I look stupid when I do it. So I want to learn how to do those.
My thing is backflips. Like everyone
that's a big
to the
one.
trampoline park, they all just like start doing backflips into the pool. And I tried one time. I went to the trampoline park and I busted my lip and started gushing blood. So after that, the nerves are in
such a
there.
good one.
Damien, my boyfriend, was trying to help Logan how to do a backflip, and
We have to insert the video.
will be inserted, and he just slammed in his face into the sand. So I just can't. But it's something that I would love to do. All right.
Very nice, very nice.
Let's start off.
So I'm going to start off our interview today with the first question, Katelynn. So we are talking about sexuality today. So my question to you is, when was the moment and age that you knew you were gay?
That's a great question. Honestly, when I think about it now, I feel like I could see the signs from when I was like 5, 6 years old. Like, no joke, like kindergarten, first grade, like having crushes on girls, but not realizing it because I was so young. It's just like, oh, I wanted to be her friend so bad. But I feel like I finally came to terms, was like middle school, like 7th grade. 7th grade, like I remember having a crush on one girl, and then I started to realize, like, okay, like this is a weird obsession. Like, why am I so mesmerized with her? Like, why do I want to be around her all the time? Like, that's not normal. So I did struggle a lot with that in middle school. That's when I realized, for sure, middle school, when I came to realization about that.
And did you ever like admit it to yourself in middle school, or was it kind of just like lingering still until eventually maybe high school?
So in 7th grade, I did hold on to it for a little bit, but then I had friends in middle school who were gay. They were out. So I felt a little bit more comfortable to like tell them and express how I felt. But it was just like, I don't know, it was just such a weird experience for me. But I did come to terms a lot quicker than most people that I know, because I came out as bisexual in 7th grade. I was literally
really?
12 years old.
So
already coming out.
what was your like? How did you come out? Like, what was your story? Like, what were the reactions? What was the?
So I ended up telling my 2 closest best friends at the time. I ended up telling them, like, expressing how I felt, and was like, okay, like, I feel this way, but I'm not like sure if this is a phase or what. I mean, they were very accepting, and it's funny because at the time, one of them wasn't gay at all. Like, she was like straight as a needle. So, but she was super accepting. She was actually like really
You said
religious.
at the time, is she now gay?
She is gay now. If you know, you know. Yeah, she's gay now. And yeah, and she was super religious too. She had a very religious background. Her parents are super Catholic. So I was definitely a little nervy to tell her, but she was super accepting off the bat. And then my other friend was just super accepting as well. Very sweet,
So
very
that,
nice.
that made you kind of feel more comfortable to
Yes.
continue
Yeah.
what you were feeling and everything.
And did your parents know before you did, or was it a process to tell them?
some parents are always like, "Oh, sweetie, we knew."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly my parents' reaction. Like, my parents have always known since I was like 5 years old. Like, the little signs of like not wanting to dress girly, not into the makeup.
Did you grow up like a tomboy?
Very much so, like sports only. I never wanted to be inside. I never had a Barbie, never had a doll, never wanted to wear dresses, skirts, all of that, like never into it. And I was always like, ew, like that's not my vibe. Very tomboyish, for sure.
That's so funny. So then, so your parents were very accepting of it, and what about the rest of your family?
So
Yeah, how about those Brazilian grandparents? Katelynn is Brazilian, guys, by the way, as well.
shout out to my Brazilians.
Do you speak Portuguese, by the way?
She could definitely speak better Portuguese than
bilingual.
me, I feel like.
I understand a lot because it's spoken at home, so
Yes.
it's like back and forth. But I'm very Americanized. just love my American people.
Shout out to my American people.
Yeah, shout out to my American people. But the food, the culture,
Can't go
I
wrong.
eat it up.
Can't go
I
wrong.
eat it up. Yes.
So how was it with your family, the rest of your family?
So I didn't tell my family actually, like my parents, I didn't like verbally say it to them until the summer of going into 10th grade.
Oh, wow.
We were on a family vacation. So I was holding that on for a little bit. And I was dating people, like so silly to say, but I was dating people like 8th grade.
Without them knowing.
Without them knowing.
Interesting.
Little best friends sleeping over every weekend. Yeah, I mean, they knew though, because like, why is somebody sleeping over every weekend? Why am I asking that one person only to come over all the time or like hang out with them only? Like, they knew. They bring it up to me and I deny it. To this day, I deny it.
No way.
Yes, I can't. Like, to me, it's just so embarrassing. Like, no. But yeah, I didn't tell my parents until, that vacation. It was actually really funny because, like, at first I was sitting with my mom and my sister, like, at a table, like, by the pool. We were staying at an Airbnb. And we were I forget the context of, like, the topic that we were talking about, but I think it was something along the lines of, like, dating. And, like, my mom was asking my sister, like, oh, do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? And when my mom said girlfriend, my sister looked at me. Because my sister did know, because when I had a girlfriend before, like, I was posting, but, like, I had blocked everybody. I was blocking people from school, my Snapchat stories, like, everything for, like, certain people I didn't want to see. And so my sister knew. So she looked at me. And my mom asked me, and beforehand, my parents had asked me a few times, like, are you gay? Like, do you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend?
Oh, so they did question you about
And
it.
you would just say no? Or
I would say no, and it's so funny because I was awkward as hell. Like, I would just be, like, looking around, fidgeting. Like, you could tell I was uncomfortable, like, just trying to talk about the next topic. Mm-hmm. And so when my mom asked me, like, are you gay? I was looking at the table. I was like... I was shaking my head, yeah. And my mom had called my dad over. So then it's like all four of us sitting there. And my mom was like, Katelynn has something to say. And I was like, oh, do I? I have something to say. I don't remember saying that. And so my dad goes, what is it? And I was like, can I text it to you? Because so like 2 years before, I had planned out this whole entire paragraph to send to my parents in a group chat with both of them, but I actually never ended up sending it. This was 8th grade. I was supposed to send it, and
Were you just too scared?
I was too scared. I don't know what I was scared of because they're very accepting people. Right. So when
were you more afraid of your mom or your dad? Because your mom seems to fully put you in that and talking about it.
No, so I don't know what I was scared of, honestly. But now that I think about it,
maybe is it because like just like in general everyone's always like scared to tell your parents, like it's the
yes, like I feel like a coming out is just like such a big deal, and it honestly shouldn't be. Like it really shouldn't be, because it's like you guys don't tell people, oh, I'm straight, and it's like, oh my god. And then I feel like being gay now is very normalized. It shouldn't be. I don't think it should be your entire personality. It's a part of who you are.
As your parents, also most of the times they already know, so it's like it should be just something that's like kind of implied as well.
Yes, especially growing up, my mom would always ask me, do you have any crushes on any boys, this and that? I'm like, ew, boys are gross. Like, no. And like going into high school, like my parents would ask me and I'd be like, no. I was very distant from my parents going into high school. That's when like I drifted. I started becoming like really, I don't want to say depressed, but I was very sad. I was hiding a big part of who I was. And so then when I told them, like, yes, I'm gay, because my dad said, don't text me, just say it, because, like, they knew. Mm-hmm. So when I said, yeah, I'm gay, looking at the table, no eye contact, they were like, yeah, we know. Literally, yeah, we know.
Was that the most, like, relieving feeling ever?
I just felt like a big weight just completely come off my chest instantly. Wow. Instantly. It was, like, insane. It's the best feeling ever, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes I replay it in my head, I'm like, wow, like, I've came such a long way.
Yeah. So did that change? Because you said before you were very, like, sad, you were very depressed. Did that, was that a shift for you after that?
Yes, because then after that, I started becoming, like, besties with my parents. Like, I tell them everything. Now, I tell them, like, oh, I'm going on a date with this girl, and they ask me about this, and, like, I don't have a problem telling my mom, like, oh, like, I met this person here, oh, I'm doing this.
And they love the details. They like to hear all about it.
My parents eat it up. Like, I'll come home from Orlando, and my parents will be like, oh, so what'd you do at Southern? Like, did you meet people? Like, they're very curious people.
You're going to tell them, yeah, I was on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. My parents are very accepting, and honestly, like, after I came out and told them, I started telling them, like, I do not like to dress girly, because, like, they would, like, especially my dad, he would try to, like, tell me, like, you need to dress girly, you need to dress like this, like here, like we'd go shopping, and I would hate shopping. For the longest time, I'd hate shopping because everything that I'd pick out, my parents didn't approve, and it would have to be like this certain way, this certain style, shopping Aeropostale and stuff like that. And I was just like, ugh, I don't like any of this. And then like I would be looking at the guy stuff, and I'm like, wow, like why is that low-key fire? Like I want to wear that, but I can't. I'm in the closet. And so after when I came out, they started asking me all these questions, like how did you know? This and that, like have you ever kissed a boy? Like just, you know, curious questions. And like I was telling them like, no, like I know I'm gay 100%. You know, it's not even a question, it's not a phase. And then I told them like I like to dress more masculine, this and that. And so after that, I remember starting sophomore year, my mom took me to the mall, and we actually went into the guy section at PacSun, and she was like helping me pick out clothes.
That's
I
so
was like, oh my god, like full circle moment.
And
like I made it.
And I know when I first initially met you, you had really, really long hair.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
Insert picture right now.
No.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you too. At what point made you want to just cut your hair? Because your hair looks so good, by the way, right now.
love
Did you
it.
get a haircut right before it?
No, I got a haircut like a week ago. It's like growing out. I'm trying to like grow out the back.
No, it looks good. Like a little bit of a mullet going.
I hate the word mullet, but I guess so. Yeah, mullet.
Yeah, but I do remember you with long hair, and I always wanted to ask, like, what was that? Just like, because hair is a big deal.
It is
you
a
know?
big deal. Okay, so initially, it was the summer of going into senior year, and I had planned to like get a haircut because my uncle is a barber, so I was gonna get like an undercut. I was thinking an undercut, like change it up, because I'd had the same hairstyle since I came out the womb. But then the night before, my dad like told me, he goes, "Why don't you just cut it like all off? Why don't you just go short? Like do it, YOLO. Like you only live once." My mom was iffy at first, and I can understand why. Like that's a big thing to do. And so I was like thinking about it, but then I was like, you know what, Dad, you're right. Like YOLO. Like let's switch it up. Who cares? Like, screw it. So then the next day, I actually told my uncle, I'm actually not doing the undercut. Like, just cut it off. And he goes, are you sure? Because once I cut, you can't go back.
Yeah.
And I was like, screw it, cut it. And then he cut it, and that was it.
And has it been the
What
most?
was the feeling like after? Like
It was actually like, I was like, dang, my hair's like, my
Were you
hair's like
feeling yourself?
lightheaded.
Yeah.
At first, no, because the haircut I initially chose to like get after cutting it all off was just not it. So then I actually went back like a week later, and I was like, actually, I want this hairstyle, because then I actually knew what I wanted.
okay,
Figuring out.
Yeah,
your
figuring
look
it
and
out. I was like,
everything.
yeah, no, like I like the little foof in the front. And
Yeah.
I usually always get the mid fade on the side.
Now, isn't it so much easier to shower?
Oh
Too?
my god,
Like-
because my hair is really thick and heavy when it was long, and oh my god, in this Florida heat, like it was the worst. So cutting it off was super easy, so easy to get ready in the morning. Because when I had long hair, I'd flat iron it all the time. Yeah, I'm surprised I even still have hair on my head. Surprised it didn't fall off, because I would flat iron it to keep it straight. But then the Florida heat would make it all frizzy, because my hair does have a little wave to it when it's longer. But yeah, it is what it is now.
Because I mean, we have a friend, Rosalia, who, like, just one day randomly shaved all her hair off.
that was really
I remember that actually.
Yeah, and I always, like, I would never shave my head off just because, like, I'm so picky about my hair, like, very picky about, like, the haircuts. I won't do any crazy change or anything, because, you know, hair really does change
Yes.
your
Your
confidence, your
appearance.
appearance. And I always thought that just, like, having all that hair off must be the most relieving, freeing thing ever. And so it
Yes.
just probably feels so nice.
It definitely boosted my confidence a lot. I was getting a lot of traction after that. Like, people were like, oh my god, Katelynn, you look so good. Even people who weren't gay or like running in the same circle as me were complimenting my hair.
Oh yes.
I was like, oh, because like I had a fear that like once I came back to school, that people were gonna assume that I was like trans or like, you know, changing my pronouns or my name. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I identify as. But it's funny though, because once I cut my hair, like people started like misgendering me. Like, do you remember that one time, like we were like getting pizza at school, and this girl who was like handing it out was like, oh, give it to this guy. And I'm like, no, but it happens all the
Yeah,
time.
because that was gonna be the next question. Is, as you said, you're a masculine presenting lesbian. So what are some of the struggles that you feel like you are like living? Sorry, let me ask that one more time. That was like such a dumb word.
You're good.
So like I was gonna say was, as a masculine presenting lesbian, what are some of the struggles of living in a predominantly heterosexual world?
Honestly, just being seen. I feel like I'm not seen at all, like, in day-to-day life, like, walking by, like, a group of people. I know that they assume that I am a man based, like, just right off the bat. Because obviously, like, the way I dress, like, the haircut, like, people associate this haircut with a boy. So, and I don't, like, I understand, like, I don't take offense to it at all. But I get misgendered, like, every single day of my life once I leave my house, like, always. And I've learned to just ignore it. At school, I remember, like, one time this substitute teacher actually was like calling me out for something. It was like, sir, and the whole class started laughing because they know, like, it's Katelynn, she's a girl.
Yeah.
And when they laughed, I was like, damn, like, yikes. But then I corrected her, and it's so funny. That's the only person I've ever corrected in my life, because then
Really?
yes, because like every time someone calls me, like, refers to me as a boy or whatever, even at work, like the customers all the time, and then they'll ask my name. What's your name? Katelynn.
Yeah. and then that's the thing,
So
'cause they're probably embarrassed right after.
Yeah.
So why don't you correct them?
I feel like it's just such an awkward interaction, and I don't know what reaction I'm going to get out of them. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like a disgust look, or like kind of like, I don't know. I don't want that awkward interaction of just like, oh my god, like, I'm so sorry, because then I'm like, it's okay, like, it's cool, whatever. Like, I always thought about putting like a little she/her pronoun in, just letting people know. But
Has it
yeah.
ever been hard when it comes, because like I know, like, I've seen a lot of things like the bathroom situation.
Okay, yes. So the bathroom situation. So I go to the gym like 4 to 5 days a week, depending on the week,
Okay,
and I go to the bathroom every single time when I get to the gym, just because I need to pee a lot.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water, and then I'll change into my shoes or whatever, and I notice I will get looks as I'm walking to the bathroom. I've had a woman, probably a little, maybe 10 years older than me, do a double take like as I'm walking by her, and I try to ignore it. And I'm just like, honestly, at this point, I'm waiting for somebody to stop me and be like, that's the wrong bathroom. Just so I can eat them up right on the spot. And be like, babe, what do you mean? Wrong bathroom. But yeah, I do get dirty looks sometimes. Like, I notice from the corner of my eye, like, it's mostly the older people who are like, kind of like looking back.
Because now in society, like, now it's a lot more normalized, but definitely like the older generations are still not used to it and everything, which is actually pretty funny, because I feel like older people also have short hair.
Yes. Oh my God. When the Starbucks
That's
worker
so true.
actually like misgendered
And they dye it too,
Yes,
like random
they do,
colors.
They do. But one time the Starbucks worker misgendered me in the car with my mom, and I'm like, well, like, did they not hear my voice and not hear me speak?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I sound like a man.
No,
Why?
not at all.
And like, these Starbucks workers are gay. Like, how do you not know? Like, we're rolling in the same circle. Like, come on now. So yeah, I told her, like, old people get their haircuts like this. Like, women, I see old women get their haircuts short. My grandma at one point
People
had
rock
that
it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like kind of weird
Yeah.
that they're doing that, but it's like I can't really control.
So earlier you said that like you notice like people with it, like, you don't want to correct them because they might have like a disgusted reaction, this and that. Because you're so comfortable and confident with yourself, why does that stop you from just continuing to be yourself? Because you are openly gay and this is who you are, so why does certain interactions stop you, you know?
I just feel like the rise of homophobia in today's society, even though a lot more people are coming out, a lot of people are very expressive, especially since COVID. Like, I've seen a lot more people come out, be open, you know, be like, yeah, screw it, I'm gay, I'm bi, whatever. But there is a big rise in homophobia. Even in high school, like, I know, like, some people would be, like, friendly to me, but I know they were homophobic. And it was, like, kind of weird. It's like, how are you going to sit here and, like, hi, Katelynn,
Yeah.
even though you're homophobic and you make, like, weird, like, comments. Like, I've heard these comments, not, like, face-to-face, because, like, they would never be bold enough to say it, but I've heard. Like, I don't know what people were saying about me in high school, especially when cutting my hair and all that. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it's...
I've always heard great things.
Yeah,
about
I'll
you,
be
though.
honest.
So
I was going to
I'll let
say,
you know.
I feel like Katelynn was popular in
popular.
school.
I
Just
was-
because everybody, like, there was nothing to complain about you. You were friends with everybody. Everybody felt like they could talk to you about anything. And, like, you were just such a welcoming person, so...
Thank you so much. You guys were rolling in the great circles, because I don't know. I definitely...
Which is funny because we were rolling on two opposite
Yeah,
circles.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
you
so
meshed with both, so...
So true. But yeah, I just feel like it's a waste of time to, like, correct people. And, like, I don't owe it to anybody to tell people, like, what I am, who I am.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true.
So I don't even, like, bother. Like, okay, you think I'm a guy. Like, my friends know who I am. My parents know.
That's all that matters. You know who you are.
Yeah, that's all that matters. So I don't really care to prove it to anybody about my sexuality or the way I present myself. Like, Yellow.
And I know we were talking about family before, but you never explained to us your extended
Extended
family.
family,
Did you
okay.
have any like conservative, strict, like what was your religious background?
So my family's religious background, we're not really religious, honestly. I mean, I grew up going to church and things like that, and practicing Christmas and, Good Friday and things like that. But, like, my
It was
parents
never
were never,
strong.
it was never, like, forcing the Bible down our throat. And even my extended family, like, my grandparents.
Kind of everybody just does their own thing and believes.
And the thing is, my dad's sister, she's gay. She has a wife. So my grandparents are super, like, they're supportive. I mean, I never heard them say anything bad.
Yeah.
But, like, super supportive. I mean, they came back from Brazil and got me rainbow flip-flops.
I love
The
that.
Havanas, the Havana ones.
Yes. Am I wearing them? No. But
So it seems like your family has just always been really chill, really relaxed with everything. That's awesome. That's really good.
I'm honestly very privileged because a lot of people cannot say the
Don't
same.
have that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard the horror stories of people getting kicked out of their houses, like their parents wanting to send them to conversion camp, or like telling them it's a phase, or like you should try with boys one more time, which is honestly like very insensitive, and it is hurtful because it does, it honestly sticks with you, those comments. And
Especially
honestly,
coming from a mother or father, like parents, it really does
yes,
stick
because
stronger.
we hold our opinions to a high pedestal, and honestly, it starts to kick in with the internalized homophobia, and then you're starting to hate yourself. You want to come out. You're like thinking about what other people may think of you because of that, and that's honestly affected my relationships in the past in high school. So yeah.
So yeah, about your relationships in high school, kind of what was that? Like, how was that for you? Yeah, let's get into the dating life.
The dating life in high school.
Yeah, and you don't count middle school really?
No, I don't count middle school.
Okay.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, no.
So high school's where it got serious, you would
Yeah,
say? Okay.
yes. I definitely explored more in high school. Honestly, in high school at first, it was hard because, like, how do you know if somebody's gay? Like, how can you tell? It's not like a girl and a guy. Like, that's so much easier. Like, you're not going to assume that they are gay. Like, majority of the people, the
And
population.
do you have a type? Like, do you have a
Do I have a type? Do I have a
do you have a type of people that don't look gay or that don't present
That-
yourself?
Is there an energy? Like, I need to know. I need to
Such
know.
a great question. Because I would say in the past, yes, I did have a type. Like, I went more for the girls who did look straight. Because I like that, like, feminine look. I like the makeup,
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
the
'cause
hair done, the
you
nails.
come off more masculine, so do you want
Yes, I do
someone more
present more
feminine than you?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. I do love that energy. So I do tend to go more towards that. But recently, since I've graduated high school, I feel like I have changed a lot more with my type. I really don't have a specific type that I may have used to in the past. But yeah, no, I'm exploring. Now I'm eating up different like types, looks. Yeah.
And is that fun? You're enjoying it?
Yes, I mean, like, nothing crazy has happened. I don't think. I mean, I'm still kind of rocking with my old ways, but I'm heading down that path where I am finding myself attracted to people I usually am not attracted to. But I'm definitely open to it. Honestly, like, to me right now, it's all about energy. Like, if we are
important.
bouncing off each other, and you're a nice person, great values, you have ambitions, you have goals, things like that. Like, I am very much attracted to that
Yeah.
rather than what you look
And
off
they
right
become
off the bat.
the person becomes way more attractive too.
Oh,
when you get all those different factors.
100%. But yeah, high school, oof, where do I
Yeah,
where
was
do I
that?
begin? Ugh, okay.
How was your first, I guess, relationship in high school?
My first relationship in high school? Okay, well, I dated a girl from like the end of 8th grade going into high school.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a 9-10 month relationship. I don't know, this was like 4 years ago. I don't really remember. I think it was around that time, like 9 to 10 months, and we
For
dated.
4 years ago, girl, we're old. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, literally.
That's crazy.
But then we broke up. So then I was single for like, I guess the rest of freshman year. Like, I think it was like March. I was single. March, yeah, single all the way up until the summer of like COVID time, sophomore year going into junior year. But dating, I don't know. Yeah, like I said before, like it's hard to tell like who's gay or who's not. Especially, I feel like all gay people, all queer people can vouch for this and say that it's hard to find somebody in school, like at your school, and the only way you could like actually find somebody was dating apps. Like I know a lot of people who actually like downloaded Tinder or Grindr, lied about their age to like meet up with people, because you can't just like, you know, flirt with somebody. How am I gonna like sit here in class and start flirting with a girl that I think is cute and she's like, ew, who's this lesbo flirting with me?
Well, especially since I feel like girls already give each other flirty energy, you know, and like
Oh
that's just like
my
our energy with
God.
me and Katelynn all the time
Oh
are
my
like,
God.
I miss you so much, babe. But that's
eat
just
it
like,
up. I
that's
eat
just
it
like
up.
the energy that girls give. So that's probably even
Very
more
confusing.
confusing.
Yeah, it's very confusing. But I feel like I knew a lot of the people at our high school. Yeah, if you didn't know, we went to high school together, guys.
Yes, all three of us.
All three of us rolling in different circles.
Yeah, completely different circles. Except senior year, somehow me and Katelynn meshed and.
Soulmates.
Me and Katelynn had a class together. Is that count?
Yeah, literally sat right across from each other and like never said a word.
But look
But look at us now.
Yeah,
at us now,
literally.
literally.
You're giving me all the high school tea. Okay,
yes.
continue. Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue. Where do I even begin? I don't even remember.
So you will-
Oh yeah, okay. So in class with like girls who are like flirty, like there'd be straight girls that would ask me like, "Oh, if I were gay, would you ever get with me?" Like, who asked that? Why would you ask that? That is like my biggest pet peeve for like straight people. It's like to ask that question. It's like, just because you're a girl and like if you were to be gay doesn't mean I would like you right off the bat. Like, don't get me wrong, you're pretty, but I don't know if I want to like.
It's like an ego booster, I think, for people
It
to ask
is.
that.
It is. But yeah, no.
So how'd you differentiate when these girls were flirting with you? How did you differentiate that they were actually interested and then them just playing around?
So honestly, like, I don't know. I felt like I knew who was like at our school who was gay and who wasn't, and like in the small gay community that we had at our high school, like some of us would know like who's secretly like in the closet and who wasn't. And for me, and I feel like a lot of others, like I was on dating apps, not like Tinder or Hinge or whatever, but there was this one app. This is how my ex actually found me on, like, knew I existed. And from I dated her from like, summer of sophomore year, going to junior year.
Was this your next relationship then after the 8th grade?
Yes.
Okay. You
But
guys dated for how long?
like a long time, like almost a year and a half,
Oh, wow.
I would say.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That was
Yeah.
your first longest relationship?
Yes.
Like serious long?
Yes.
And you guys met through the app but went to high
No,
school together.
okay, so here's the tea, girl.
Anyway.
So this is COVID time. Everybody's at home. We're all locked down. She found me on this app. If you know, you know. Yubo. Kind of embarrassing to say now.
Yubo, oh my god.
Yes,
I saw that on TikTok ads.
I get that all the time, but wow, that was like a flashback. I don't know who was using Yubo, but yes, I did. Wait, was Yubo just for?
It's basically Tinder, but for teens.
Yes, okay, it wasn't just for
Yes.
the gay community because
No.
I remember
Grindr is for gay men.
I remember one of my friends also met his girlfriend, like ex-girlfriend, through Yubo, and that's how I know about it. It was really funny. It was like, and I was always like, "What the heck is Yubo?"
Yeah,
like
so
that
it
is
was
so
low key.
random.
So me and my friend Alexa, we found out Yubo through like a mutual friend or whatever, and we downloaded it as shiggles at first. Like it was just silly. Like we were bored. I downloaded it in October of sophomore year. Wasn't really like on it that much, maybe a little bit, but I didn't like start using it until like the summer because I was bored. I'm at home. Like what am I gonna do? Might as well just swipe left, swipe right, like Tinder.
Right.
That's basically what it was. Like you swipe right if you're interested, swipe left, next. And then once you match, you text or whatever.
It's literally Tinder, but
Yeah, it's literally Tinder. And so my ex-girlfriend found me on there, and then she followed my Instagram from there because I had my Instagram in my bio. And she found me through there. But I didn't even know that she found me through that app until like maybe 3-4 months into our relationship. She ended up telling me, and I'm like, what? You're on Yubo? Like, what? How did I not know that? And so so she followed my Instagram, whatever, and I was like, who is this? Like, hello? Like, who is this pretty girl following me? So then I like followed back and whatever, and I saw we had like 60, 70 mutuals because I didn't know who she was. I knew who her friends were, but I had no idea that she existed. Like, I'd never seen her. Like, she was just like ghost mode at school. It was so weird. So I saw we had mutuals. So I'm like, okay, maybe she goes to my school. Like, we have like over 70 mutuals. Like, what?
Yeah.
So then I found her TikTok. I followed her on TikTok. I was looking through her followings on TikTok. Sorry, I'm a stalker a little bit.
Everybody is. Everybody
Yeah,
You have to, especially when you're first interested, and you're like,
Yes, I was like, And I remember seeing, like, she followed, like, 1 million gay people. And I'm like, hello? Like, why do you follow more gay people than me and my best friend combined? And we're both, like, raging lesbians. It was a little odd. But then, yeah, then we started talking, and then we started dating. And
Well, you can't just jump like that.
Sorry.
How did you?
okay, so then we
was she openly out?
No, she was not. She was not out.
Oh, so how did that get into dating?
So
If you don't mind sharing.
No, I'll share. So I don't know. I started posting TikToks a lot. That's when my TikTok career launched up. I'm just kidding, guys. 400 followers.
TikTok thirst traps.
All right, I don't do that
I actually
anymore.
stalked your TikTok today, by the way. Prior to you coming, I was like,
We're interested now. Who's our guest?
Yikes.
I
Sorry.
love those TikToks.
Yeah, she's featured somewhere on there a few times.
I am featured a few
Yes,
times.
you
I
are.
forgot about those.
Yes, you are.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But yeah, so I started posting TikToks a lot. That's when I actually started posting TikToks, I believe. It was like around COVID time, March, April, and then through the summer. And so she started liking my TikTok videos, and then I actually ended up DMing her. I was like, screw it, why not? Like, YOLO. So then I DM'd her, and then I asked. But I only asked because I seen her following, and it was like, you have way
Yeah,
more
you
gay
felt
people.
safe to ask.
Yeah, I felt safe to ask.
Assume.
Unless you're like a super ally, which I don't think that exists. But then I asked her, and she said, yes, I am, but nobody knows. Oh. And I was like, oh.
Nobody knows, but your following is showing. You just gotta be
Yeah,
careful.
literally.
that's not too secret.
I don't know. I feel like straight people are not gonna be looking through and like, you know, actually snooping for something. I was looking for something and I found it. So yeah. So then she told me nobody knew, and I was like, oh, okay, like cool. I won't tell anybody though, because then I asked, do we go to the same school? And she said, yeah, like we go to the same. She told me what school she went to. I was like, oh, twins. And I was like, are you in the same grade as me? Whatever. Yeah. The convo ended. I think she left me unopened. Like the convo ended, so she left me unseen. I was like, whatever. Then the next day, like I come home from a bike ride, and I saw I got a DM message, and then she asked me for my Snap, and I was like, what? She asked me for my Snap? That's crazy. Of course, I added her back. I started snapping, and then she started asking me like a bunch of questions about myself, like my sexuality, how do I know, like this and that, like what's the gay scene? No. So then, yeah, and then we just started talking like every day, snapping, like, you know, typical people who are interested in each other. And then eventually we ended up meeting up in person. Like we went on a date. We went on a date by the beach.
oh wow.
Yes, we went out to dinner. Super awkward. Like really like the jitters. Oh my god. Like I cannot make eye contact with her. I'm driving like my face is super red. I'm like I can't look at you, and every time we look at each other we just like bust out laughing.
Oh, so it was like a mutual feeling.
Yes, it was very mutual. Like we were both like very flustered, and I remember sitting across from each other at the dinner table, like by the beach, and we're just like so awkward, and like.
Well, this is probably a new experience for. That was probably a very new experience for her.
Oh yes, for sure.
It probably took a lot out of her too, because
Yes,
I'm
it's-
assuming
Yeah.
are you
Props.
her first girlfriend?
Yes.
Wow.
I think I'm the first person she's ever dated. Like
Wow.
Yeah, like seriously, yeah.
So from after the first date, what, you guys just felt more comfortable with each other? It just progressed?
Yes, it progressed. I mean, eventually, like she came over my house. Like she met my parents.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she met.
What
my
did they
parents.
think?
She's very shy. Like my parents thought she was nice, you know, sweet, just very reserved, very quiet. I mean, that's how she presents herself.
Right.
I mean, honestly, they think it just depends on like where she's at her attitude.
Did they know that she was closeted?
Yes, they did.
And what were their thoughts
What,
on
you
that?
gave them the scoop beforehand?
Yes. I think my parents honestly just felt really bad for me. Because, like, being with
Because
somebody...
doesn't that hurt? The story hurts, because I've seen on TikTok all the time where it's like, people, it's like, don't get with that one closeted girl, and then it's them crying. It's this whole
Yes.
spiel.
It's just because of the fact that, like, if I'm with you in the closet and I can't, you know, show the world that I'm with you, like, I'm happy to be with you, it's like I'm going 20 steps backwards. It's like I'm putting myself back in the closet when I'm not. I'm out, I'm open, everybody knows. I don't care what people think. My parents know they're accepting. So why should I, like, put myself back in it? And that's why my parents, they were upset about it. I mean, they still let me do whatever I wanted to do. Like, they're like, we'll support you, but, like, they were still pretty, you know, wanted, you know, the best for me. I mean, every parent wants the best for their
Yes.
kid. And eventually over time they did see it kind of like the relationship deteriorate and me crying and things like that. It was very, very secretive. We couldn't even like hang out certain spots in Boca. And I remember one time we were at the beach and we actually seen like the friend group that she was like friendly with. And like we were walking and we noticed them across the street because they were all hanging out, but she was hanging out with me by the beach. And she actually ran away and left me. And I'm standing there and they all see me and they were like, is that her? Like they said her name. And I was like, what? Like I had to play stupid. I just like, I felt really stupid. After a while, I felt really dumb. Like I was thinking like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this to myself?
How far into the relationship did you realize that?
I would say, honestly, for a while, I was just like thugging it out. Thugging it out. I was pushing myself to the very limits. You know, because I did love her like in the relationship. I loved our relationship together. I thought like we worked well for the most part, but then towards the end it just got bad. But it is for the best. Like I do wish her the best. Like I mean
And you grow so much from it.
yes,
So much.
I do grow.
You think you've grown, yeah?
Yes, a lot. I've definitely matured in ways with like relationships and how I handle things and how I perceive things.
And I'm sure she's grown too. Like
Yes, I'm
everything
sure
is
she
everything
has.
happens for a reason.
Everything,
honestly.
yes, and I wish her the best. I mean, I peep, you know, on Instagram, like, you know, people post their lives.
Yeah.
I just slide through and I peep, like,
You're supporting from a distance.
Yes, I'm
That's
supporting from a distance. She looks happy. I'm glad that she's happy.
And you're happy.
I'm happy.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all
that's
that
it.
matters.
Well, that's great. That was the end on her scene.
Yeah.
But now I think a good way to finish it off is what are some false assumptions made about the LGBT community and what's your response to them?
That's a good question. Okay, I think one thing that's like false about the community is when people say that we try to push our sexuality onto other people. Like that makes me like so mad. Like especially with like the books, the TV shows, like with the gay couples and things
Why
like that.
do you think people think that?
Because they're ignorant, they're afraid, it makes them uncomfortable. People tend to lash out when they're uncomfortable, which I understand, but it's becoming the new norm. Like gay people have always existed. I'm not pushing my sexuality onto you, I'm just existing in this world. I mean, honestly, you're getting in my business by like calling me out for like being gay or saying the F slur or whatever.
I'm always very like, we're all just doing our own thing.
Literally,
I feel like
I don't understand how people like just get so bothered by somebody else existing that they have to like go out of their way to say like nasty remarks or make like ignorant comments. Like, babe, I'm not worried about what you're doing. Why are you worried about me? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do my thing.
all in all, I think it's great the community you guys have. Like I feel like even watching it, like you since high school, like you guys always have like a strong built group of people. And I feel like I've even watched like I've had friends from middle school that I've known, and like now you're friends with. I'm not gonna name drop, but like I know that everyone starts becoming friends together just because you guys are all part of the same community, and it's actually really like cool how you guys support each other and the energy you guys have and everything. I think that's really amazing.
I love the gay community. Shout out to the queer community, LGBTQ plus IA. Love you guys. Love everybody. We're just trying to live, literally.
Yes.
Just trying to live.
Be who
You are. Literally.
All right. Well, I think that does conclude the
That was
episode.
a great way
We
to wrap it.
loved having you here. We would hope to have you on whenever you please.
So honored. Thank you guys for having me on here. I've had a blast spilling the tea.
Yes.
Stay tuned if you want more.
Stay tuned if you want more.
Stay tuned if you guys want Katelynn to come back.
Subscribe if you want more. Comment.
Literally.
Everything.
Listen to our
Post,
Spotify.
share.
We're on
everything.
Spotify. Our TikTok is down below. Our Instagram's down below. If you want to be in Caitlin's chair right now,
I don't know. I'm kind of comfy.
you know, you want to be listening,
guys
you
wanna
want
be
a
sitting
cute
in-
headphones, then please sign a form. It's also linked down below.
Yeah, sign the form. Super simple.
That's how Katelynn got on here.
It only took 2 minutes.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. This is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together, and that's not the right one.
Thank you, guys, and